this series, we've talked a lot about setting up your classroom for independent learning and the types of activities that you can do. We've looked at ways of offering choices and providing support. We've talked about choosing topics that interest students and giving them opportunities to explore and discover things for themselves. In this video, we're going to think about how to extend independence and deepen learning through group work. The key word this week is deepen. While I've referred to pair and group work, we haven't really discussed how to set this up. Group work allows students to work autonomously, but not completely independently. They will be able to cooperate and help each other. So it's a great way to give students more independence without the added pressure of individual work. So let's dive in. By scaffolding group work and providing plenty of opportunities to practice, we can guide our students towards becoming independent thinkers and effective collaborators. But how can we ensure that all students actively participate and contribute? Let's explore some practical ideas. First of all, we can give roles and responsibilities. Assigning specific roles within a group can help distribute the tasks and make sure that everyone has a clear purpose. For example, you could designate a timekeeper, a note taker, a materials manager, and an artist. This not only encourages accountability, but it also allows students to develop essential teamwork skills. It can be tempting to allow students to choose their role, especially if we're trying to foster independence. However, this can sometimes lead to arguments because all students want to be the artist, for example. For this reason, I like to make sets of role cards. Each group has the same roles and each student takes a card. They are allowed to swap, but only if someone else is happy with the swap. There are also other types of roles that you could use for different types of activities. For example, have a look at these role cards. These are ideal for group speaking activities. I designed these cards as part of a resource for teaching introverted learners, but actually they can work with any group of children who need a bit more structure when they're doing independent group work. In inquiry-based learning, group work is key. In last week's video, we looked at doing research activities as part of inquiry-based learning. Once students have some information, it's time for the evidence stage. During this phase, they analyse the information that they've gathered together and they make decisions about what is important. Let's think about how we can facilitate this process with group work. Visual aids are powerful tools for scaffolding both individual and group work. Consider providing graphic organisers or mind maps to help students organise their thoughts and keep track of what they're doing. These visual supports promote independent thinking, but they also foster collaboration within the group. You could give each group a single graphic organiser, for example. Perhaps each student has a section or corner of the graphic organiser where they can write their own individual ideas. For this, you could use a placemat graphic organiser like this one. Then they read each other's ideas, maybe they turn the placemat around and they put a tick or a smiley face next to the ideas that they think they should include. Then together they choose the best ideas and they write them in the centre. Remember, it's essential to create a safe classroom environment where students feel comfortable sharing their ideas. We need to encourage open-mindedness and respect for different perspectives. A positive atmosphere really helps students feel relaxed and happy in the classroom, which in turn leads to higher engagement levels and motivation. This means that it's essential to think carefully about how you group students together and make sure that you have groups that will work well together. Here's a tip. Try mixing the groups up so that they are regularly working with different students and not just their friends. You need to plan this in advance. Create your groupings, but make students think that it's random. You can use flashcard sets, for example, animals, food, clothes, and sports. Give students the flashcards seemingly randomly, but according to your list, to form groups with the lexical sets. If students always sit in the same place, this makes it a bit easier for you. When it's time to get into groups, students have to find people with the same type of word. By scaffolding and by embracing group work, we're setting up students for success as independent learners and effective collaborators, which are really useful skills that they'll need as adults. Group work doesn't have to be scary. All we need to do is to plan it and provide the right support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.